Now straight to the details. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Rwanda's Minister of Interior, Dr. Vincent Biruta, has observed that cooperation and security between countries that make up the Eastern Africa Police Chiefs Cooperation Organization, or EAPCO, and China is one of the key factors that can accelerate the development of citizens and their activities. Adam Squizera with the details.
This meeting focused mainly on discussions aimed at combating transnational crimes, ensuring cybersecurity, fighting terrorism, and strengthening the capacity of security and law enforcement within EAPCO member states and China. Minister Dr. Vincent Biruta noted that this meeting serves as a good opportunity to expand cooperation in addressing crimes that are growing day by day.
Both parties are seeking mutual benefits through capacity building, exchange of expertise, particularly around emerging technologies, sharing information related to criminal activities and other strategic activities. Our shared goal remains clear: to safeguard the peoples of EAPCO member states and China, fostering a secure environment conducive to economic growth, development, and prosperity.
The Chinese Deputy Minister of Public Security also emphasized that this meeting will further strengthen the existing partnership between China and Africa in areas such as security, trade, health, and well-being of citizens. The Inspector General of Rwanda National Police, CG Felix Namuhoranye, said that through this cooperation between EAPCO and China, there is a need to enhance the capacity of those working within the security sector.
This platform will certainly enhance collaboration and ease information sharing mechanisms that will improve prevention and response to crimes in our respective countries. Law enforcement and security challenges we face demand coordinated responses and innovative partnerships. Our focus on training and capacity building programs is vital in strengthening skills and knowledge in prevention, investigation, and operational capabilities against criminal activities and their networks.
Participants in this meeting also reviewed the progress made since the first meeting, agreed on future cooperation, and identified priority areas that require more effort to continue safeguarding the security of citizens. Adam Squizera, RTV News.
Thank you, Adams. Now, the Chief of Defense Forces of Kenya, that is General Charles Muriu Kahariri, is on an official visit here in Rwanda. General Kahariri, accompanied by his delegation, has visited the Ministry of Defense and the Rwanda Defense Force headquarters in Kimihurura here in Kigali. He was received by his Rwandan counterpart, General Mubarak Muganga, the RDF Chief of Defense Staff, and also held talks with Rwanda's Minister of Defense, Juvenal Mariza Munda. Both sides discussed the strong cooperation that already exists between Rwandan and Kenyan defense forces, explored new opportunities to further strengthen that partnership, and exchanged views on various military and security matters. Speaking to the media, the general emphasized that his visit aims to reaffirm and deepen the friendship and cooperation between the two countries and their armed forces.
Our coming here is as an affirmation of the reality that our relationship between the two countries and the two defense forces have been strong right from the time Rwanda started the efforts to rebuild its defense forces after the aftermath of the genocide. So really it's just a matter of extending our friendship and looking at how we can further deepen and extend our relationship. The two defense forces, as you are aware, share a lot in common in terms of training, in terms of regional peace and stability, and we are at a level where we learn from each other.
Now, as you saw in the images, the Kenyan Chief of Defense Forces also visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial, where he paid tribute to the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, and also toured the Campaign Against Genocide Museum. As part of his visit to Rwanda, General Kahariri is also scheduled to visit and deliver a lecture at the RDF Command and Staff College in Nyakinama. Now, the parliamentary committee responsible for monitoring the management of public finance and assets, has requested the Ministry of Sports to present concrete measures for tackling the use of funds sent to sports federations and to address issues identified in the use of more than 9 billion Rwandan francs. The Minister of Sports, Nelly Mukazaire, flanked by other top officials from the ministry, explained to the members of the committee how the ministry's budget is utilized, noting that there have been instances of negligence in planning and the use of public funds, but corrective measures have since been taken, as was stressed by Kandi Basomingire, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sports.
So after 15 days, they've not submitted. If they have an explanation to say, sorry, we couldn't find this, can you give us an extra 7 days? We'll try to be flexible, because of course we do not want a national team to go, because at the end of the day, the federation is the one that doesn't do the job, but the national team is the one impacted. Because when we say you don't receive money, it's money usually to send our teams to play outside. So we're trying to avoid that, but we're also trying to be firm and to not threaten them, but to make sure that they understand that now this is serious. It is money. It's public funds. I've personally received some president coming to try and negotiate with me, because one of the other things that we do as well is that I review every budget that we receive, because when they go in competition, they will give us a budget. They will say we have to have camps for 30 people, and then we have, so all the costs, I also go through it, I review, I discuss the team that goes with the national team. They have a team of professionals, a doctor, physiotherapists, and all of that. Sometimes, to me, it's exaggerated. So I do some research. What is the international federation saying about what would be the size of the team, and we negotiate down. So we also save as much as we can on the public funds, because you also have abusers of, justification can always be found. One of the members mentioned they can forge, I can also get an invoice of anything. So what we want to also do is be also strict in what they propose, look at it, discuss the prices, we really go into the details. We find an agreement with the federation president, and then we really try to have them stick to what we have put in place. It's also, of course, work in progress, because it's a bit of a shock for them to, after 2 years of us never asking them, following up on reports, telling them now you have 30 days to submit, and if you don't, you will be, we stop all the funds, and then now implementing it. So we hope that maybe within the next 6 months they will really know, and we won't even have to tell them you have 15 days, they will know that they have to. But so we will really trying to do our best to enforce, making sure that we have timely reporting, and by I have full confidence that by the end of this financial year, we won't have any reports that has not been justified.
Kandi Basomingire, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, speaking there. Now, the members of the committee urged the Ministry of Sports to ensure that the funds provided by the government truly benefit citizens by enhancing their enjoyment of various sports. Minister Nelly Mukazaire promised that the budget will focus on tangible activities that contribute to developing Rwandan talent, rather than projects that fail to produce any results. The minister also expressed appreciation for the recommendations given and assured the committee that efforts are ongoing to nurture young talent in the country and strengthen the national teams that represent Rwanda in various sporting disciplines. Now, with just 16 days left before Global Fund partners convene in South Africa for discussions aimed at mobilizing health financing, people living with HIV here in Rwanda say that through the support of the government of Rwanda and the Global Fund, they have regained hope for life after receiving the treatment and health care they need. William Evans Mutabazi with more.
It's been 25 years since Nizeyimana Isabella contracted HIV. In the year 2000, after she learned that she was infected, she had lost all hope of living, but thanks to the support she received from the government and the Global Fund, she remains healthy today.
Global Fund yaradufashije no kuba mpagaze aha.
Global Fund supported us together with the government. That's why I'm standing here today. Global Fund paid for our children's education. Because we thought we were going to die, we started worrying about where our children will end up. Let's work together in the fight against HIV/AIDS, whether you're in the civil society or in the government, and other foreign countries represented here today, and others working in the health sector. But also, we should not forget malaria and tuberculosis, because when these two also affect us terribly.
This meeting, which brings together civil society organizations, aims to assess strategies for mobilizing $18 billion for the period of 2027 to 2029. The funds will support health interventions that protect the lives of more than 23 million people at risk of HIV/AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis over 3 years in countries supported by the Global Fund, including Rwanda. Some members of the civil society platform say they are ready to play their part.
Rwanda is the heart of Africa. I believe Rwanda is the heart of the world. I really do believe this, that Rwanda is so open to fixing problems that when they have accomplished some of their great goals and tasks they have before them, that the world will be listening, the world will be watching. And that's what this country's about, that I can understand. And anything I could ever do, I'd be more than glad and blessed to be a part of that. So we are trying to influence pastors. That's kind of our expertise area. And hopefully we can encourage them to be better at what they do. That'll help society and the community and everyone all the way around.
We need to strategize how we can really keeping this momentum of fundraising. But as we know that Global Fund is now challenged by the funding. That's why we need to start very early to collaborate with your embassies, to collaborate with private sector, to collaborate with other agencies to make sure that at least we can fill the gap. Colleagues, civil society, private sector here, we need to join our hands together to make a serious advocacy so that at least Global Fund can achieve this goal.
A report by the Ministry of Health on HIV shows that in the year 2023-2024, a total of 9,411 new infections were recorded, and among them, 1,658 are youths aged 15 to 24. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Muhammad Semakura, says Rwanda's progress in caring for people living with HIV must not be slowed down.
As we are talking now, at least more than 95% living with HIV here in Rwanda, they know that they are living with HIV. More than 95% of those who knows that they are HIV positive are on treatment. And among them, more than 95% are suppressing. That's a great achievement. This is not the moment for stopping. Instead, we need to keep the momentum. It's also important to rethink about the sustainability.
Dr. Chilombo Brian, the World Health Organization country representative in Rwanda, noted that Rwanda has demonstrated what focused leadership can achieve by strengthening its health systems.
This is a powerful signal that defeating the 3 diseases and strengthening health security are inseparable from the global economic agenda. So today, we are here, where Rwanda has demonstrated what focused leadership, community-powered delivery, and smart multilateralism can achieve during the COVID pandemic. Countries like Rwanda, which had invested particularly in primary health care, had systems that were resilient, were able to respond and weather the pandemic much easier than other countries.
There are now 16 days until heads of state and government meet in South Africa at a summit that will bring together the world's 20 largest economies. The meeting will also be attended by the civil society, the private sector, and international organizations. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, William. Now, Rwanda is participating in the 8th International Expo taking place in Shanghai, China, where exhibitors are showcasing Rwandan products such as tea, coffee, honey, chili, macadamia nuts, and other handcraft items. The China International Import Expo has brought together more than 4,000 companies from 155 countries and international organizations. This 8th edition of the Global Expo features over 460 new products and services.
Here to basically expose our Rwandan-made products, different products, but me personally, I came with our One Cup of Coffee brand together with System Coffee to try to tap into the Chinese market, which is a huge market. The value from this expo, I think it's huge, but needs consistency. And the China market is developing very fast, more especially for coffee. It used to be a tea drinker, but now they really consume a lot of coffee. And for Rwandan coffee, more especially our specialty coffee, is not very much known. And the value to bring, it brings high value in terms of pricing if we process our coffee very well, because it's a huge market and we tend to benefit hugely from this market.
Today, in terms of investments, China is our #1 source of foreign direct investment. And as we continue to increase this investment, this cooperation, it's important that our trade, our exports to the market of China also grows. And we've seen that many of the products that we've brought, like tea, coffee, honey, chili as well, are very welcomed in this market. And so we want to keep growing access to the Chinese market. We want to bring Rwandan products to the global stage through the Chinese market. So the benefit is in terms of exports revenue that we get from accessing this market. As I said, the different products that we are showcasing today are very liked in this market, and we hope to grow the volumes of exports, which brings us more forex, but also in terms of foreign direct investment that comes back our way. There's also multiple imported goods that we need in our market, and as we progress towards industrialization, China is still an important trade partner. And so it goes both ways. As we export and get investments in the country, we also gain in having access to many other products and services.
Now, the Ministry of Youth, in collaboration with the RwandaTV Board and Junior Achievement Africa, has organized a national competition in high schools aimed at promoting entrepreneurial mindsets in young people. The competition was comprised of 5 best performers out of 80 from technical secondary schools across the country. The top 3 winners at the national level were awarded cash prizes ranging from $300 to $500 to enhance their business projects. The best performer is set to represent Rwanda in Abuja, Nigeria, next month.
Solving a problem of increase of population, but which leads to decrease of agricultural land. We do this by planting crops without the use of soil. Hence, we can still get the same amount of produce that we would get if we still used the same hectares of soil that we would need to grow such crops.
The chairperson of the Board of Directors of Junior Achievement Rwanda, that is Emery Bajenga, reiterated the essence of giving young women the opportunity to contribute to national development from an early age. Now, the finals of the competition will bring students from around the world together, that is internationally. Moving on, education analysts in Rwanda say that if the country achieves its goal of constructing the planned classrooms under the 5-year education sector strategic plan, it will help address the challenges still affecting the teaching and learning environment. Under this plan, more than 50,000 new classrooms are expected to be built across all levels of education, from pre-primary to secondary and technical and vocational education, or TVET. Now, the education expert Dativa Nitejeka has gone on record to state that she believes that once the classrooms planned under the Ministry of Education's 5-year program are completed, several challenges hindering the quality of education will be resolved.
I have been a primary teacher, a secondary teacher, and recently I have been focusing on material development, including the teacher guide, the student book, the storybooks, the training manuals for teachers, and training teachers, and I'm happy to continue to support, to contribute to the quality of education in Rwanda. The overcrowded classes is really a big challenge, a challenge for the teachers, a challenge for the learners, the students.
Now, the Ministry of Education's 5-year strategic plan, running from 2024 to 2029, indicates that 18,721 new classrooms will be built for pre-primary schools, and then another 18,742 for primary schools, and 4,019 areas without nearby schools to reduce the distance students travel to access education. Additionally, 14,326 classrooms will be constructed in technical and vocational schools, along with 409 science laboratories in secondary schools.
Every journey has a beginning. From nature comes refreshing fruity goodness that keeps you going every day. With every pack complementing life's best moments. Not one, not two, but 5 different fruity flavors. And this journey keeps giving. Introducing Inyange's new fruity juice flavors, guava and cocktail. Now available at your nearest shop. Always ask for Inyange.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njya muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashije, ariko byarangiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye zibimamo. Bigereho.
Martina Avera will be with you for the next edition, so please do join her, and I look forward to seeing you again on Friday. Goodbye.